Here is Team GB. Renwick, Lloyd, Bale and Davenport.
Haven't made a change, Nicole. The same four. Might have flipped the order.
I've got to tell you, Robbie Renwick's looking good up in 3 for Scotland, but this is absolutely wide open. Ross Davenport.
Hi Robbie, thank you for answering these questions for us. My question is, what do you eat before and after a tough set?
My question is, what do you do 5 minutes before a race?
And my question is, when you were younger or when you started swimming, was freestyle always your stroke or did it change throughout times? Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, good first 3 questions there. So I've just got them written down here. So what do I eat before and after a tough session? What do I do 5 minutes for a race? And was freestyle always my favourite stroke? So yeah guys, before and after a tough set, it's really important before just to be nice and fueled up. So kind of fast carbohydrates, so things like having porridge, bananas, cereal bars, peanut butter and jam sandwiches. They were always kind of my favourite snack to have before. So these kind of fast acting carbohydrates really did you well in an hour or 2 hour training session. So I recommend eating stuff like that, and especially after a tough set, you need to be eating good food as well. So loads of veggies, loads of carbs like rice, pasta, potatoes, and nice bit of meat there as well. And what I always say as well is make sure every day you are allowing yourself something like a small treat, whether that's a wee chocolate bar or some sweeties or something like that. Just because you're a swimmer, you are working really hard. So your body does burn calories, so it doesn't mean you need to have the strictest of diets. So make sure you are just giving yourself just a wee treat every day especially after a hard set as well. So the second question there, what do I do 5 minutes before a race? It's actually a really difficult one to remember. I remember 5 minutes before a race was really kind of nervous time for me. I would making sure my suit tied, my trunks on, goggles were okay, hat was okay, and I was really just going through race plan in my head, making sure that I knew exactly how I was going to do that race and what I wanted to achieve out of that race, whether that was to go out really fast on the first 50 or to make sure to come back. Each race kind of changed, so that was kind of what I did, and the only way you can really prepare for the race is by practicing that in training. So the third question, was freestyle always my favourite stroke? I would definitely say yes. From when I was a young teenager, I always loved freestyle. I think because it was the fastest stroke, you could get from A to B the fastest. And that's not to say I didn't like the other strokes, I just wasn't as good. So freestyle I was always naturally quite good at as well. And I had a really strong leg kick which helped me in my freestyle. So I think that's why I loved it as well. And my heroes when I was growing up was Michael Phelps, Ian Thorpe, and they were doing the 200 freestyle, the 400 freestyle. So I loved just watching those races, and that's what kind of inspired me to be a freestyler. Cheers, guys.
In the 04 Olympics, and rounding out the field in lane 8, Robbie Renwick of Great Britain. So here we go, Rowdy. Michael Phelps looking for Olympic history. Third from the top in lane 6. Boy,
Had any injuries, and if so, how have you coped?
Hi there. Thanks for your question around have I had any injuries and how I coped with that. So when I was swimming for about 20 years when I first had my swimming race when I was 8 years old, and then I eventually retired when I was 28. So I had a few injuries along my way, definitely, but nothing major, thank God. So I was never really out of the water that much. I tended to get myself injured when I was in the gym. Or if I do a really hard swimming session and I didn't stretch off properly and I didn't really look after my body that well. So if I could give you a tip, it would be to make sure if you are tight, if you are a wee bit sore in your muscles, just to take a little bit extra time to stretch out. I remember doing a couple silly things in the gym. I tried to go for a maximum pull-up competition and see how many I could get, and I got about 32. And then I just remember tweaking a muscle in my shoulder here, just on my deltoid there. And that was almost a month out of the water. So kind of doing those types of things are a little bit stupid in hindsight, just really trying to push your body to the max. And of course, you're more likely to get injured that way. So I would kind of warn against that sort of stuff as well. But yeah, back to your original message, I was very lucky not to get that many injuries.
Very quickly indeed. Davenport for England. Up in 3 is Robbie Renwick, and Renwick's coming back fast.
Hey Stu or Robbie, I'm not really sure who gets to see this, but I heard you got to ask a few questions and that seemed really incredible. So I have a few, I hope that's okay, Stu. So my first question is, at what age did you decide you wanted to pursue a career in swimming, or decided that you were going to pursue a career in swimming? And if you ever had a dream of being something else, whether or if it was always your dream to become a high-level swimmer. And my second question is, I know a big part of being a high-level swimmer is the titles and the medals and that kind of stuff. And what meant the most to you during that time? Whether it was medals, titles, winning, the journey, something like that. What in your swimming career at that time meant the most to you?
For your two questions there, so I've got what age did I want to be a professional swimmer, and what meant the most to me, either titles or the medals. So I'll start with your first question. When I first started swimming, I wouldn't say I was very good at all. I was never winning any races at all, and swimming was just something that I did. I had an older sister, so she was obviously a very good swimmer in the family, so I just kind of followed her into the sport. And it wasn't really till I was about 14 or 15 I started to win races, and this was, very, very exciting for me when I was young. And when I was 16, I qualified for the Commonwealth Games in 2006 in Melbourne. So, realizing I could qualify for the Commonwealth Games, that's when I kind of realized, I want to take this and be an elite athlete. I didn't really have much in the way of plans of, going to the Olympics and, trying to chase the Olympic gold medal dream, but I knew it would be an amazing thing to do. And when I came out of the Commonwealth Games in 2006, that was the kind of moment I realised I am able to swim up against some of the fastest swimmers in the world, so why not pursue this as a career? Swimming is a relatively short career as well, so I knew when I was young and I was fit and healthy, that was what I wanted to do. So from 2006 all the way to when I retired in 2016, I made every single British international team, and it was a really, really exciting journey. That kind of leads us nicely onto your second question. What means most, the journey or the medals? I would definitely say a bit of both. Now I look back at my swimming career, the journey was amazing. I mean, I had so many highs, I had a few lows, but overall it was a fantastic experience. I met so many amazing people, raced against some of the fastest swimmers in the world, which was a really cool thing to do. And I feel like I had some amazing experiences that, not the normal person probably wouldn't have. Swimming obviously taught me a lot as well, and the fact that I was able to represent my country, win medals at the Commonwealth Games, the World Championships and at the Olympic Games in Rio was amazing. Doing something that you enjoyed doing and also representing your country is a really cool feeling. So I hope that answers your questions for you.
Tight, really, really tight. Robbie Renwick in 3. Is he going to get the touch? Come on, get the touch. Oh, it's gone to Robbie Renwick. Robbie Renwick of Scotland wins the men's 200 metres freestyle at the Commonwealth Games, and what a fantastic swim that was. So the new Commonwealth Champion of the men's 200 metres freestyle is Robbie Renwick of Scotland.
Okay, my third question is, I think it's hard to explain, and the way I say it doesn't really make sense, but is there almost a message or something you've learned that's had a big impact on your life still today? Anything that you still use in your everyday life that you learned from being a competitive swimmer? I hope that makes sense. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Hi there, I've got a few more questions for you. So your question, is there a message or a part that swimming has played a huge part in my life moving forward? I would definitely say yeah. I think swimming has kind of impacted my life in every single way moving forward, not just when I was a swimmer. It gave me amazing opportunities, amazing experiences, whether that was representing your country at Team GB at the London 2012 Games, or winning Commonwealth Games gold medal for Scotland in 2010. Now that I'm out the sport as well, I kind of have the benefit of hindsight to see all the kind of skills that I've learned as an athlete and trying to transfer them almost into the real world, into a working capacity, which for me there's just so much to learn. But having that kind of background, the dedication, the hard work, the constant eagerness to learn, I think that's what I'm really taking away from swimming and trying to kind of move that into the next stage of my life, which is working in the real world and trying to obviously stay a fan of swimming. But it's nice to come out the other end and to do something different as well now. Swimming was part of my life, but I don't want it to define me as a person as well.
Hi Robbie, this is my question for you. What age did you start swimming competitively?
Hi there, so your question is, what age did I start competitive swimming? So I think like most people, you kind of learn to swim when you're almost a baby. You're very, very young, just so that you are able to just float and you're not drowning. But I didn't really start swimming competitively till I was about 7 or 8 years old. A lot of my friends were in the local swim club, and as well as my sister. I have an older sister, so she was 2 years ahead of me. So I always just wanted to follow my sister. She was a very, very good swimmer, has a really beautiful technique. And when I was younger, I always just wanted to be my sister. And I think that happened when I was about 13 years old. And that was a pretty proud moment for me. But yeah, that's how I started. And I made sure when I started, I always had fun. Right until the very first day I started swimming to the very last day. I made sure I had fun every single day. And that's I think why I stayed in the sport all that time. So times will get tough with school and exams around the corner as you get older. As long as you're having fun with swimming every single day, you'll stick in, and if you're having fun, you're going to do well out of it as well.
Away, Townsend, South Africa 1, Renwick, Great Britain 2, Biedermann, Germany 3, Lochte, USA 4, Laveau, France 5, Fraser,